Welcome to a new episode of the Guru's Perspective, and I am your host, the Guru himself. I want to talk about some of the things that happened in the NBA and talk about some things that happened recently too, as well in the NFL, and give you some stats around all sports in general. First off, I want to talk about, and I want to congratulate the two teams that's going to be in the NBA Finals. We already know how they got there. The New York Knicks ended up sweeping the Cavs after having two crucial game sevens. Going in and playing the New York Knicks definitely wasn't a recipe for success. They swept them, and they only had one chance to get it together. Actually, I believe two chances, honestly. The first game when the Knicks was down 24 points and they blew that 24-point lead against the New York Knicks to take the game one. And I believe game three, when they were at home, they looked like they had the foot on the gas and they let go. They were up for a minute, had the momentum, and then the momentum changed. Then the Knicks took over. And after going down 3-0, I definitely didn't feel like they were going to make a comeback. They just gave up in that last game that they played. And the New York Knicks was waiting on whoever win out of this crucial series in the Western Conference Finals. You had the San Antonio Spurs with Victor Wembanyama versus OKC, the reigning defending champions, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning MVP. So what happened was, when I seen that game, I said whoever wins this first game possibly might go on to win it. And sure enough, San Antonio Spurs shocked the world with the double overtime. It was a very good game. They ended up coming up on top. Game two was a blowout victory, of course. OKC gained the momentum back, and they won game three that shocked everybody. Game four, San Antonio won, and it was like a back and forth, series. Very good series at that. The thing I questioned the most was Tony Brothers didn't, ref the sixth and seventh game, which made a heck of a difference because it seems like he was heavy on bad calls and he was heavy going towards the favor of OKC. Not saying that the game was fixed, but then it seems like now in the NBA, some of these games are not fun to watch, especially when you have people flopping like the whole OKC team. They were jumping into people, grabbing arms and falling all over the ground. It was just really exhausting to see. So at this point, the sixth game when he wasn't there, Tony Brothers, they won San Antonio in a good game. And then once it came to game seven, I questioned. I said, okay, Adam Silver must have seen something that he didn't see before in all the other series. And maybe they just felt like they knew what teams they wanted to go and go on to the NBA Finals. I'm not really throwing that narrative out there. I'm just saying, if you feel that way, you guys hit me in the comments, because it was a lot of games that he could have took over and said, okay, this is not right, and fix the narrative of these games. We've seen a lot of bad calls in the end of regulation where teams could win games. The Detroit Pistons in the Cavs series, where they could have closed that out. And a lot more games, not just in the playoffs, but in the regular season, where people complain. And he was just very unprofessional. He get up in players' faces. He get up in coaches' faces, getting real controversial. It was just really sad to see. And it made the NBA look bad because, Charles Barkley always talks about how well it's been coached and how Adam Silver is the best commissioner in the league. I can't really see that right now. I definitely would say it's not Roger Goodell, but I don't think Adam Silver by far is the best neither, because he let too much get away. He let a lot of stuff slip and go through the cracks that he should have just laid down the narrative or put his foot down. And at this point, we had a game 6 and 7 when Tony Brothers didn't coach, and then all of a sudden, it seemed like it was more of an even playing field, and it wasn't as heavy on the calls for OKC. Moving on now, it's OKC and the New York Knicks, and I will be talking and discussing more about that. I would like to say congratulations to the teams who made the NBA Finals. But at this point, I'm actually going to talk about some of the things that happened on the offseason in football as well, just to keep you guys updated if you wasn't aware. Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, the reigning NFL MVP of the Rams, agreed to a one-year, $55 million contract extension. The deal includes incentives that can push the total value up to $60 million contract status. Stafford is now tied with the Rams through 2027 season, with $105 million remaining on his contract across the next two seasons. Official sources, I believe right now, it's a possibility he can play next season. And if they win a Super Bowl, that second year on the contract possibly might be void. I still feel like they have the successor right now going into the LA Rams season. You know, even if Matthew Stafford do play 2 years, I still feel like once he's finished and officially retired, that Ty Simpson possibly might be groomed and ready at this point. So congratulations. I feel like that was well deserved. And there was a lot more crazy things going on in that Rams organization. And I will discuss that as well. Detroit Lions Jack Campbell, linebacker, you know, secured all-pro season. And now he has a massive 4-year, $81 million contract extension that keeps him in Detroit to 2030. The details of the deal includes $51.5 million guaranteed money market impact. The average annual salary is $20.25 on a new extension, places him among the highest paid off the ball linebackers in the NFL. So congratulations, that was well deserved. The first time when they first drafted him, I said, okay, I don't really too much know about what he's going to do in the league yet. We knew in Iowa he was a disruptive force, but when he came into the league, he's definitely one of the top 5, if not the best linebacker in the league. Not trying to just say that because I'm a Detroit native, but man, if you just see his line of work, that dude is anywhere. You know, ask Fred Warner and some of the other off-ball linebackers, and they would definitely agree that he's top 5 at least if you don't want to give him the best overall linebacker, you know. And another thing that happened too yesterday, this took the second or back seat to what happened yesterday. Nobody expected what happened yesterday to happen. We kind of figured what was going to go on with everything with, you know, New England and the deal with AJ Brown. So I'm just going to definitely say it right now. ESPN sources, the Eagles are trading Pro Bowl wide receiver AJ Brown to the Patriots for a 2028 first round draft pick and a 2027 fifth round draft pick. And I feel like that definitely helped boost up their wide receiver, you know, core. Of course, they got Romeo Doubs, Kayshon Boutte, and several other guys over there. Hunter Henry. It's a few guys over there that they have, but I still feel like that was pretty cool to see him reunite with his former head coach with the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel. I thought everything was going well until they ended up releasing Mike Vrabel. But at the time, too, I believe Mike didn't make a lot of the decisions, especially trading AJ Brown to another team. So that being said, it was just good to get them to have a reunion. I know he wasn't really happy with Philadelphia. A lot of things went on in the last few years. It made it seem like it was all about him. A lot of big distractions over there. So I feel like this is best for him to get a new home. He'd be the new number 1 wide receiver. Hopefully everything works out for them both, because I believe Mekhi Lemon and a lot of the other guys over there in that wide receiver core, they're going to still be okay with Devontae Smith. I'm just basically saying the Eagles are going to continue to be the Eagles at this point. So I feel like that was a good move for the New England Patriots at this point. Hopefully they don't get that disgruntled wide receiver that they had in Philadelphia if things don't go its way. Another thing, it was a huge bombshell yesterday, and I wanted to give that the attention that it deserved. When I first talked about it and I was actually given the breaking news, I was shaking a little bit because I thought it was a lie. I didn't believe it at first, but from the person it came from, I knew for sure that it was legit. Bombshell. The Cleveland Browns are finalizing a trade that will send 2-time Pro Bowl Player of the Year, or Defensive Player of the Year. I'm sorry about that, you guys. Myles Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams. In exchange for Garrett, the Rams are expected to send Pro Bowl edge Jared Verse in a 2027 first-round draft pick and other draft compensation that was still being negotiated. Okay, now this is actually the full detail right here. The full trade terms: the Rams receive Myles Garrett, the Browns receive Jared Verse, a 2027 first round draft pick, a 2028 second, and a 2029 third. So they had a lot of collateral over there. It was a lot of collateral because I feel like the Cleveland Browns needed that for a player of the magnitude of Myles Garrett. I feel kind of bad for Jared Verse because I know how good of a player he is, and to leave the Rams and go to the Browns, no disrespect to the Browns, they haven't been the best of teams in the last few years. The organization had a lot of questionable moves and the things that they've done over the past two as well. But at the end of the day, I just felt like they executed a good deal. They had one of the best drafts last season, and you could tell, even though it didn't go on to the field last year, but I believe that some of that stuff is going to definitely translate to the field this season. And to have all those draft picks, have a young, defensive end who's a stud at that position, Jared Verse, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do next season. So I feel like it was a win-win for both teams. You get a Myles Garrett right now, to where the Los Angeles Rams by far is the Super Bowl favorite for this move. I thought they was going to make the move on AJ Brown, and I was looking for that because you had Kansas City and other teams looking at pursuing him. But I kind of figured with AJ Brown moving to Massachusetts already before this was all said and done, like in April, May, that this was officially going to be official that he was going to go to the New England Patriots. But at the same time, nobody really had the idea of Myles Garrett leaving. I was hearing speculations and rumors about it, but I didn't think Myles was going to leave. But the actual draft capital was so much. And then you have a really good player, too, and a Pro Bowler in Jared Verse. I just felt like it was opportunity that presented itself because I know Myles Garrett is in his 30s. This is his last time or last, chance at a run at a Super Bowl, which gives him a really bright chance over there. You got a Trent McDuffie at the cornerback. I believe, I forgot the other cornerback that was over there too, both former Kansas City players too as well. Went over there to join the Rams. So now they got a really good cornerback core. The defense has always been lights out, but you put Myles Garrett on that team, and now he's over in the NFC. It's going to make things pretty interesting over there, which I already felt like I was shocked that they didn't win last season, the Rams, because they were the favorites at this point. But now you have it where I think the Seattle Seahawks will still be a good team, but I believe that they'll be above the rest as far as the Los Angeles Rams. So I wanted to get you guys updated on that. I want to talk about some of the things that was going on too, just in, the stat form and what was going on around the WNBA and the NBA in general before I start to give my predictions on the NBA finals. I want to start off by saying, I like to see a lot of the good things that's been going on right now in the WNBA. Just been proud of the games, of course. My homegirl, Courtney Williams of the Minnesota Lynx, had a big game yesterday, 30 points, her season high, and just been really liking what's been going on over there because you'll see some teams and you'll be like, okay, it's no way that this team will be able to match up. The team's been matching up well. The Dallas Wings has been playing on a whole nother level too. AZ Fudd has been as a starter in the last few games, and she's been playing exceptionally well. But a player that a lot of people don't really talk about on that team, the Dallas Wings, Jessica Shepard, she joins Alyssa Thomas in the record books right now, as she put up an unreal stat that she had a triple-double that when I seen it at first, I had to look twice because I said it ain't no way that she did this. It's very rare to see things like this happen in the WNBA. Like I said, Alyssa Thomas did this several times, and she have really been the best when it comes to having triple doubles as a big at this point as well. But when I seen this triple double for Jessica Shepard, she had 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists in the victory. And that victory was over the Las Vegas Aces of all teams as well. One of the better teams defending champions, too. I believe if she didn't have the game that she had, that it's been a possibility that they wouldn't have won that game. Let's just be honest. So congratulations on that huge triple-double, and the WNBA continuing to make moves right now. I like how the Portland crowd has been. Toronto Temple's been playing pretty good, surprising enough to me because I thought those would be some of the worst teams in the league. But right now, the Connecticut Suns take that record, unfortunately, even with Brittany Griner. So at this point, I just want to continue to see what happened this season. But now they're in, the Commissioner's Cup. So I'll be definitely paying more attention and putting my eyes on the WNBA a lot more. Like I was saying, too, the NBA is just about done for the season. And once that's over with, I will talk about a little bit more or a lot more WNBA. And I will focus on what's going on in the MLB as well. I'm gonna wait and see what's going on because I know me and my co-producer of the show, I know he has a show that's called What's Up in the Dub. If you want to continue to do that, I'll just continue to talk stats and a little bit of WNBA and focus on the MLB season. But we'll see as things go, from week to week at this point. I want to go ahead and talk about some stuff too that I seen that I was interested in. And Jeremy Shokan is eligible to receive a ring no matter who wins the WNBA final. He found himself in a rare spot headed into the 2026 finals. A current member of the Knicks, he gets a championship ring automatically if the Knicks beat the San Antonio Spurs. But because he also suited up for the Spurs earlier in the season, being released, he sits in an unusual territory. San Antonio, if they win instead, the team has a discretion to award a ring to a player who contributed during the season, even after they move on. So the Spurs could still choose to honor him. It's not guaranteed in a way because he's not on the winning roster, but the door is still open for that. So I actually thought that was unusual, and it was pretty cool to see because he possibly still might win a ring no matter what. I feel like right now, will Karl Anthony Towns make history right now? And people like, what do you mean by that? And become the fourth member of the Minnesota players who leave the franchise and become NBA champions. Kevin Garnett won an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics in 2008. Kevin Love won the championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016. Andrew Wiggins won a championship with the Golden State Warriors in 2022. And it's to be determined for Karl Anthony Towns right now. So, yeah, I definitely felt like that was pretty interesting to see. What pissed me off too, you guys, I want to talk about this. I don't want to really get too rattled because I know when I heard this, I was upset. Adam Silver was saying flopping in the NBA is not a pressure issue right now. Even as he sits in the stands and games, players may be falling down. This is what he said. And players may be reacting to calls. But to him, they're not fooling the referees. It's okay. Players are taught to sell calls in these situations. I really want to know how y'all feel about that because he's basically saying he don't see a problem with it and he feel like it's okay. He feel like players are going to fall, but they've been falling at a higher rate right now. A la, you have like your James Harden who does a lot of flopping, Joel Embiid, especially Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's the art of flopping right now. And I know a lot of people are concerned because they felt like OKC ended up winning the championship. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the MVP again of the playoffs. Their kids were going to start taking more of an art of flopping stuff for really taking pride in the passion of the game serious. So at this point, I really want to know how you guys feel. Hit me up in those comments because I feel like that's crazy to feel like you're the commissioner, but you think that it's okay and you don't really see nothing wrong with it and don't think that it's at a high level, a disturbingly high level at this point. Saturday will mark the second Game 7 in NBA history between two teams who had .750 win percentage in the regular season. The other came in 1981 Eastern Conference Finals when the Celtics beat the 76ers 91-90 to complete their comeback in the 3-1 series deficit. I feel like with that Game 7, it all depended on who was going to be the ref in this one. And I'm not trying to be funny and continue to, throw shade at Tony Brothers, but I'm just glad that he wasn't, reffing that game because I feel like it was an even playing field. A lot of the flops and falls that OKC was normally doing, they wasn't able to get away with it. So I was definitely happy that the way things ended up in this one right now. And I'm going to just be honest with you. So congratulations to Victor Wembanyama and the young team of the San Antonio Spurs. Victor Wembanyama postseason, he had 372 points, 176 rebounds, and he is the youngest player in the NBA to reach a total over that single postseason at the age of 22 years old, 146 days. he's continued to make history as well. I know it's crazy too because you had two juggernaut teams, but I just feel like now at this point, and I know people might disagree with me, I want to know who you have in this series because I still feel like I'm starting to lean towards the New York Knicks a little bit more because, yes, Victor Wembanyama is a good player and they have good young pieces, but hey, the New York Knicks not no slouch as well. So yeah, I definitely want to know what you thought or what you think about this one, who you think is the best team, who will come out on top on this NBA Finals. In NBA history, only one player has had 150 plus points, 75 plus rebounds, and 50 plus field goal percentage and made 15 threes. It had 10 blocks and steals over that 7 game span, regular season and playoffs. And, that's another Victor Wembanyama, goal that he made. But I want to see how he goes up against this team that I feel like a New York Knicks team with my man's Karl Anthony Towns playing at the best that he's ever played at his position. Good defender, and he's starting to play like a big finally. And he can make the three when necessary as well, just like Victor Wembanyama. And I just feel like at this point right now, if I had to choose and then you had, a gun to my head and say, well, who are you picking? I'm going to go to Knicks in 6 in this one because I feel like I want to be a little controversial and I want to go for the underdog at this point. The Sacramento Kings had the worst of all of this as far as the luck of any NBA team right now. The Kings basically had Tyrese Halliburton and he was traded and he went to the Indiana Pacers and he made the NBA Finals last season in 2025. Mike Brown was fired by the Kings and made the NBA Finals with the New York Knicks next season in 2026. And the Sacramento Kings traded De'Aaron Fox, and he made the NBA Finals with the San Antonio Spurs in 2026, of course. And at this point, I want to get down to the nitty gritty and talk about who I have in this NBA Final or who I think is going to win Game 1. Like I said, I'm going to lean a little bit more forward. And I'm going to lean towards the New York Knicks in this one. I would like for them to win. Not saying that I don't like the San Antonio Spurs because I definitely feel like they're a worthy opponent and possibly could win this one in Game 6. I like Victor and I like what they got over there. But at the same time, I feel like this Mike Brown team is a team that a lot of people underestimate. I feel like Cat's going to step up. Jalen Brunson going to step up when they definitely need him. And I don't feel like the Knicks are going to disappoint. And I have them at 6 right now. But what I'm going to say, too, is if I had to predict who's going to win Game 1, of course, yes, it's going to be in San Antonio. This is a game I feel like if the Knicks come out and they don't come out showing rust, that they can sneak this Game 1. But I still have the Spurs in a small margin victory. I believe it's going to be a close game, but I would pick the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1. I want to ask you guys something too. Who do you think right now who would be the team to win and in what game in this series? Like I said, I'm going to pick the Knicks in 6. I think it rhymes. It's not me being cliche or anything. I just feel like right now in my heart, San Antonio had that battle and they went to Game 7 while the Knicks rest. So if the Knicks have any energy and they come out swinging in this first game and they can steal this game, yeah, I definitely still feel like they can get it in 6 at this point. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit me up in those comments. And like I said, too, man, for all the people who are sports fans and even my friends out there who listen and check out the podcast, man, send it to your friends, share, have them like and subscribe. I definitely appreciate you all out there. And I'd like to say thank you for all the love and support that I have already. At this moment, I would like to say if you want to reach me on my social media platforms, you can check me out on Instagram as Whoovi, WHOOVI. I'm the sports guru to you at Facebook, where I put a lot of the comments as far as the breaking news and things that's going on around the leagues. And on Instagram, you can catch me. TikTok, you can catch me at Hugh.Lee6. And you can also catch me at Hugh Lee on YouTube as well. I put a lot of promos and things that's going on there as well. And I definitely have a lot of things that's coming up soon. I got some projects and things that I've been working on. I've been keeping it very secretive and being low key because I'm trying to get some things trademarked and some things put in my name before I start to show you guys some of the new product and the things that I've been working on. But I'd like to say thank you all. First and foremost, I'd like to give a shout out to the Nighthawk Network. I appreciate you guys for showing love and putting me on this platform. The Google production, of course, I'm about to start making moves sooner than later. And I would like to say thank you all to my family, friends, and loved ones who give me support. And peace out too. And I want to give shouts out to the Home Depot family on the Break Room Uncut. I want to get more of my people and Lowe's involved. I will be sending you more things and news. And I would just like to say thank you all, the people who've been giving me their love and support over this time. And at this point, I would like to say, don't stress over anything. Let God handle the rest. You guys take care. Have a blessed day, and I will see you soon. Until next week.